And welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope that all of you are having an awesome week so far. Welcome, Fong. Hi, Natty. Good to see our members in the class. Hi, Nipa, Angel, Riyadh. Good to have many of our viewers with us at the start of the class. That is fantastic, everybody. We are looking at an IELTS speaking part one. And this speaking part one will look at questions on hobbies, family, and the environment. IELTS speaking is a 12 to 15 minute interview. It's made up of 3 parts, part 1, 2, and 3. Part 1 takes about 5 to 6 minutes. It will have an introduction, and then the examiner will ask you questions on a general topic. Sometimes that is a single topic, like talking about math, for example, or talking about reading. And sometimes they ask you kind of a combination of questions, like in this case, where it's hobbies, family, environment. And you're going to notice that these topics can be related. We're going to talk about that in just a few moments. Everybody, this lesson is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are the websites that power these live lessons. They contain our textbooks, our videos, our interactive courses. They will help you to get high band scores the next time you sit your IELTS test. And we will use this website today to talk with our students and practice the speaking. This is aehelp.com. Click this big red button here to join the premium version of our IELTS course. It's a one-time payment, doesn't cost a lot. You get lifetime access. Our goal is really to help as many people as possible to achieve their IELTS goals and realize their dreams of going to study abroad and move abroad and go to university. We're an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner. We're an IELTS test registration center. I'm a certified British Council agent, so you're in great hands. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. It's the green background. Again, you can click this big red button that's just right above my head there to join the premium version of our course. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. And when you do that, students, there's a place where you can use a discount code. You can use the code SURPRISE9 for a 10% discount. Notice that there's no R in surprise. It's SUPRISE9. Welcome, Chen. Hi, Alexi. Nice to see our moderators. If anybody has questions, you can ask our moderators as well. Chen and Alexi are well informed. They know what's going on. All right, students. Apps, yes, we have them. Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help. The apps link to the websites. Instagram, IELTS_AHelp, GIELTS Help. And if you have questions, if you're just not sure about some part of our product, IELTS, the process, English, just send us an email. Adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. Those email addresses will get you an answer, students. So check that out. Amazon has our books. A helps academic IELTS, G helps general IELTS. And we've got lots of lessons for you this week. 13th to the 15th, speaking right now, part 1. Then tomorrow we will have task 1 writing. I think that's going to be the question that Alexi sent us, I believe. And then we'll have some listening tomorrow as well for subscribers. So definitely subscribe to our channel. It's a good idea. And it's free. And then we'll have speaking part 2, speaking part 3 on Saturday. Students, we are always putting up new videos for you to practice your speaking, learn new vocabulary, improve your communication. For IELTS, but also for life. Good communication equals good life. So check out the videos. They're very helpful for you. There is the URL of this video here in the chat. You can check that out when you've got a minute. All right, let's get into some speaking questions, everyone. Here we go. Let's rock and roll. We'll just jump right into it. This is an interactive class. This is speaking, so make sure to speak and repeat. Copy what I say, copy how I say it. I speak English with West Coast North American accent. I'm from Victoria. Victoria is the capital of British Columbia. It's the westernmost province of Canada. It's a beautiful place, just north of the state of Washington, not to be confused with the city of Washington, D.C., the capital of the U.S. That's on the East Coast. The state of Washington is on the other side of the U.S., on the West Coast. And then Oregon, California, just down to the south, and up to the north, we've got Yukon and Alaska. And all of us here kind of speak this similar type of crisp, quick, clear English. You hear it lots in Hollywood movies, LA, of course, down to the south with Disneyland. So yeah, it's a nice form of English. It's easy on the ears. So yeah, just copy what I say. Try to mimic my pronunciation. Watch my mouth, the movement of my mouth, the articulation. Okay. All right. Here we go, students. So you go to your IELTS exam early. The earlier the better. 1 hour, 1.5 hours before your exam starts. It's great. Get comfortable, have a snack, talk to someone who is there, hydrate, drink some water, use the bathroom, the washroom. Feel comfortable. Being confident is a huge part of getting a good score and having a good experience. Okay? Then 20 minutes before your test, you go into the exam center and you register. They will take your picture. They will look at your identification. They will ask you to remove everything from your pocket except for your pen, pencil, eraser. And then you go into the exam room where you will be met by an examiner who is trained, professional, objective. They are there to measure your English and your communication. Okay, so the examiners measure your English. English means kind of like your grammar and vocabulary, and your communication. Okay, communication means your ability to accurately and coherently respond to questions. Okay. All right. So it's English and communication, especially when you get into the Band 8, Band 9 levels. Okay. It's not about using fancy idioms. It's about using your words well. All right. Okay. Yes, exactly, Chen. Mimic means to copy. Copy. Okay. You can even learn the other word from, which is mimicry. Okay. All right. Here we go, everybody. So you go in there, you sit down, you showed up early, you practiced your English, you're feeling good, you're feeling great. And the examiner says, "Can you tell me your full name, please?" Okay. Give me a nice full sentence answer. It's very important, students, that you give a full sentence answer and tell the examiner what to call you. Full sentence answer plus, and say, "Please call me." Not "you can call me," but just say, "Please call me," whatever you want to be called. Okay? All right, so can you please tell me your full name? All right. Shruti Grover, one of our viewers, has this answer for us. Shruti says, "My given name is Shruti and my family name is Grover. Please address me by my first name, Shruti." Shruti, that is a Band 9 answer. That's fantastic. It's polite, it's fluent, It shows that you practiced. Very well done, Shruti. So if you say this nice and fluently, or I should be positive here, when you say this nice and fluently and clearly for the examiner, you're setting yourself for a band 9. So Shruti says, my given name is Shruti and my family name is Grover. Please address me by my first name, Shruti. It's polite, it's professional, it suits the situation. It's very, very good. Okay. All right, next question. Can you show me your identification? Continue with a full sentence. Full, professional, response. Okay. Sure is not a full professional response. All right. So our moderator, Alexi, jumping in there with a response. Alexi says, yes, gladly. Here is my passport that I have used to schedule the exam. Yep, the one part I would change here, Alexi, is I would change the exam, because you're not actually scheduling the exam, you're scheduling your exam. So my exam, okay? That would be a little bit more natural. So yes, gladly, here's my passport that I have used to schedule my exam. With a smile. Sure, absolutely, smile. Smiling is good, okay? Yes, gladly, here's my passport that I've used to schedule this exam, or my exam, all right? Good. All right. Fuang, one of our regular members and very studious, always working to improve, very clever. Fuang says, yes, gladly. Here's my passport, which I had used for registration. Please have a look at my credentials. Definitely, Fuang. Nicely put. Okay. Again, repeat, everybody. Yes, gladly. Here's my passport, which I had used for registration. Please have a look at my credentials. Awesome. That's how you set up for a band 9. Okay, now let's keep going. Next question. Where do you live? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Now, here's a good tip for everybody. When you're asked questions, think logically, okay? So in this case, your logic could be big to small, or small to big, but not all over the place. Okay, so you don't want to be all over the place with this. All right. So big to small, I mean, you could say, well, I live here in Canada, British Columbia, the capital city, Victoria, in a 2-bedroom house. Big, country, to small, 2-bedroom house. Or you could go the other way, right? You could say, I live in a 2-bedroom house here in the city of Victoria, which is the capital of British Columbia, the westernmost province of Canada. Okay, so create order and organization right from the beginning. All right, let's see what Owen has to say. Owen Nguyen says, I've always lived with my family in a lovely small town in Vinh Phuc. We live in a detached house having beautiful views over a river and a paddy field. Very nice. Okay. So here, Owen is going from big to small, even though he says small town, or she says small town first. It's a lovely small town, okay? Vinh Phuc. And a detached house over a river. Here, I would give the name of the river, Owen, so be specific. It would be interesting to hear the name of the river. And a paddy field. A paddy field is where animals graze, usually cows. Okay, so learn vocabulary because it's good. And Owen is teaching some of us a good piece of vocabulary here, which is a paddy field. Paddy field is a cow grazing pasture. Or if it's not a cow, but buffalo, for example, we could say livestock. Okay, so it's a grazing pasture for livestock. Paddy field, paddy field. Okay, all right, nice vocabulary, Oan. I commend you. Good. All right, Natty has this to say. Natty says, I live in a 3-bedroom apartment with my 2 flatmates in Mostoles at the south of Madrid in Spain. We don't need city. We can just say Madrid. In Spain. Okay? And then we're golden. Natty, it's good. You're going from small to big. Okay? Be organized, students. If your communication is not organized, you will definitely lose band scores. Okay, you want to have organized information, and I can see that many of you are working hard to have nice organization. That's fantastic. Okay, Natty's teaching us a word here, flatmates. It's a bit of British English. Anybody know what the American English is for flatmates? This is British English. And by the way, it is absolutely okay to mix British English and American English as long as you're consistent. Okay, so if you're mixing it, just make sure you're not getting really confusing. Yeah, very good, Jeannie. Very good, Domenico. Yeah, roommates. That's right. Yeah, roommates. Double M. Roommates. All one word. Flatmates, roommates. American English. Yeah, and you can mix them. If you mix American English and you mix British English, do you know what kind of English you're speaking? So, if we mix these two, then you're speaking, Alexi says Simglish. No, Alexi. Then you're speaking Canadian English. You're speaking my English. Canadians tend to adopt both the British and the American words. We do use roommates in this case more. I would probably argue, like if somebody asked me, do Canadians use British English or American English more? I would probably say that we use American English more, which of course is not surprising. They are closer in proximity. We border them, right, here in Canada. So we tend to use American English more, but we definitely use some British English in Canada as well. And sometimes we just mix it. All right. And sometimes we have our own in Canada, like with the metric system. Okay. So then the examiner will say, okay, let's talk about hobbies. All right. As soon as you hear the word hobbies, you should think free time, activity, pastime, activity. Okay. It's your actions that you like to do to relax. Okay. It's your fun, regular activities, right? You should be visualizing. And then you should be visualizing typical hobbies, singing, playing certain kinds of sports, swimming. You should be thinking about which ones you like to do on a regular basis, reading books. Okay. All right. Ramandeep, that's a good question about cue cards. Send me an email. We're not going to jump to part 2 today, but we will do part 2 later this week, Ramandeep. So send me that question. There are some very good tips on our website as well for that. Okay. All right. So let's talk about hobbies. What do you like to do in your free time? Very common question. You should definitely practice these before your test. Be ready for them. Okay. All right. Kaur Preet says, gardening and reading are the major activities that I enjoy during my free time. All right. Kaur, it's a good start, but it's not a high band answer yet, because all you have here is just the answer. We need to make complex compound sentences with good linking words right away, okay? So gardening and reading are the main, is better than major, okay, are the main activities that I enjoyed doing or enjoy during my spare time or pastime, spare time. Let's do that here. Paraphrase, right? So if the question has free time, you should use a little bit of a different collocation or word. Spare time, because I really love nature and growing plants, and I like to acquire new knowledge. In fact, I combined these two hobbies this week and read a book about growing beautiful rose bushes, right? There, now that would be your band 9 level answer, okay? So now it's not just some generic answer that a lot of people might say or use, but it's really you, it's unique, it's clever, okay? So Kaur, this would be your band 9 version, okay? Gardening and reading are the main activities that I enjoy during my spare time because I really love nature and growing plants and like to acquire new knowledge. In fact, I combined these two hobbies this week and read a book about growing beautiful rose bushes. Right? How about that? That's good. Gopu has this answer for us. Gopu, one of our newer members, very studious, showing up to many classes, which is great. Gopu says, I like to read books, especially psychology and science fiction books. Yesterday also I have read a book which was about anxiety. Okay. You are right up my alley, Gopu, because my degree is in psychology as well. I'm a graduated psychologist and I love psychology. Psychology Today is a magazine that I've read for many years. Good. Now here, always think about the why, students. So Gopu, why? The examiners are very curious about those why answers, okay? Otherwise their jobs are boring. Really boring, right? Reasons make us unique. So we want to be exciting. I like to read books, especially psychology and science fiction books, as I feel that understanding the mechanisms of the human mind and behavior unlock a lot of opportunities. Okay? In life, sure. Yesterday, I read is still spelled R-E-A-D, Gopu. It's not like the color red. It's just the pronunciation that changes, but the spelling stays the same. So yesterday I read a book which was about anxiety, okay? And I feel this will help me relax on this exam. Right? Test anxiety. So Gopu, that would be your band 9. I like to read books, especially psychology and science fiction books, as I feel that understanding the mechanisms of the human mind and behavior unlock a lot of opportunities in life. Yesterday I read a book which was about anxiety, and I feel this information is helping me relax during this test. Right? Gopu says, absolutely. Okay, good. Let's jump to the next question. We're going to jump to this one. Now, let's talk about your family. Sure. like I said, students, in some exams, the examiners like to jump around a bit. So the questions aren't necessarily clearly linked, like not just hobby, 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 but they'll ask you a few slightly different questions during the introduction. Okay, so they might say, now let's talk about your family. How many people are there in your family? Okay, so give me a nice answer for this one. Gurkarat, I purposefully skipped a question. That wasn't an accident. I did that on purpose because you're going to practice those questions shortly, and I want you to have some questions that are fresh for you during practice time. Okay? All right, Kevin, a very good user of the English language and one of our regular attendees, has this to say for us. There are 4 people in my family. My parents, I, and my little brother. We quite enjoy each other's company as we live by the same core values that our parents instilled in us, which are respect, honesty, and kindness. Like, we neither interrupt nor talk over a member when they are speaking. Okay, Kevin, a little bit down the rabbit hole, but that's okay. All right. So let's up the values here. There are 4 people. We wouldn't use a contraction here, Kevin. We would actually say there are. Why? Because we emphasize the actual number of people. So a native speaker here wouldn't say there are 4 people. They would say there are. They would put the A in, okay, and separate that out. So there are 4 people in my nuclear family, okay? Nuclear means your direct family, like your siblings and your parents, okay? So there are 4 people in my nuclear family. And then just use a comma for this kind of a list. My parents, my little brother, and me. It's more natural, okay? We quite enjoy each other's company as we live by the same core values. Now here you're still talking about your parents, so let's take this part out. And we probably wouldn't say which are, even though it's good to use an adjective clause, we don't need the which here. So respect, honesty, and kindness, like we neither interrupt nor talk over a member when they are speaking. That's a really good system to have in your family, Kevin. So this would be okay, Kevin. Now, I would probably say a little bit of different information. So I might say something like my little brother, who is 2 years younger, okay, and me. So a little bit of quantitative description in there, especially when we talk about siblings. It's interesting for people to know the age difference, because that gives us a lot of information in many ways, right? When we know there's 2 years or there's 10 years between the siblings. So also quantification, so numbers, so good to show right away at the beginning, right? So again, so here's Kevin, okay? And the word that I'm teaching you here is nuclear family, the collocation, okay? Nuclear family is your core family members, parents and siblings. In some cultures, and it's a good aspect of a culture, it also includes grandparents. Okay, unfortunately in North American culture, not so much. But in many cultures, Asian cultures especially, nuclear families, they like to include grandparents, which I think is beautiful, and it's the way it should be. That's just a personal anecdote. All right, so here, now let's talk about your family. How many people are there in your family? Kevin says, there are 4 people in my nuclear family: my parents, my little brother, who is 2 years younger, and me. We quite enjoy each other's company as we live by the same core values: respect, honesty, and kindness. Like we neither interrupt nor talk over a member when they are speaking. Now it's beautiful, Kevin. That's the approach that you want. Zachariah, you are super welcome. Okay. All right. So, in this case, it's a good question. Ahmed is asking, why are we using me instead of I? It's a self-directed pronoun in this case, and it's more natural. It's actually a change of modern English. In Old English, we used to say and I. We don't say that in modern English anymore. We say and me. Okay, so English is always evolving. That was a very clever question by Ahmed. Ahmed says, why did you change I to me? Modern English, more natural. Okay, it's a self-directed pronoun there. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next question. Can you describe one of your family members? All right. Can you describe one of your family members? Now here, probably some of you are like, this is like part 2, right? So you're thinking about appearance and personality plus action, right? So that would be a good way to do it. Don't be surprised if this kind of a question comes up, okay? You're very welcome, Kevin, very welcome. Okay, Palomi Biswas says this. I love all the answers, by the way, everybody. And if I'm not reading yours or looking at yours, don't worry. I see a lot of them. I'm like reading out of my right eye. I see the chat. And it's pinned to my screen here. Okay. So Palomi says, well, I would love to talk about my mom. Okay, she is most energetic, disciplined, and loving person. She is the, because she's unique, if she's the most, okay? The is a superlative, okay? The most. Most is a superlative, so you need the, okay? Superlatives means it's the best, so it takes the, okay? Use the with superlatives. Okay? Superlatives are like the least, the most, the best, the fastest, the one. Okay? So, well, I would love to talk about my mom. She is the most energetic, disciplined, and loving person. Now, you've used love here, so try not to use love again. What could we use instead of saying loving again? Loving person. Okay, there's another word that we could use there that would work really well. Can anybody tell me what that word is? And I like the contraction here, I've. Yeah, Chris, yes, very good. Caring, absolutely. Caring person. She's the most disciplined and caring person I've ever seen. Every morning before going out for work, she cooks breakfast for all of us with a smile. Because it's mom, right? And let's add a little bit to mom here. She is the most beautiful and energetic, disciplined, and caring person, okay, I've ever seen. She is 48 years old. Long brown hair and brown eyes. She is not only a housewife, but also teaches grade 2 at an elementary or primary school near my home. Every morning before going out for work, she cooks breakfast for all of us, because you said before going out for work, right? So you might as well tell us her work. So Palomi, a great foundation, just a little bit of enhancement here. Here we go. Well, I would love to talk about my mom. She is the most beautiful, energetic, disciplined, and caring person I've ever seen. She is 48 years old, long brown hair, and brown eyes. She is not only a housewife, but also teaches grade 2 at a primary school near our home. Every morning before going out for work, she cooks breakfast for all of us with a smile. What a lovely woman, Pulomi. Absolutely. Okay. Usha says affectionate. Affectionate would be very good too. So for caring, another good word here by Usha, one of our newer members, is affectionate. Yeah, absolutely. Showing a lot of emotion and affection. All right, Domenico Lafauci, one of our hardworking students, has this to say. Domenico, now a bronze level member. Domenico, you've been with us for a while. Good for you. You're learning. Okay, Domenico says, well, a member of my family I would like to talk about is my dad, who is the most resourceful and caring person I have ever seen. He has always $1 million smile on his face. He is in his 70s and still built like a 20-year-old surfer with a washboard stomach. He exercises every morning and always looks to find solutions for the day's challenges. Okay, let me just throw a little extra at your dad there, Domenico. Make sure he keeps on liking all of us. Here we go. Domenico says, well, a member of my family I would like to talk about is my dad, who is the most resourceful and caring person I have ever seen. He always has, let's do it that way. He always has $1 million smile on his face. It's very good. One more time. And students, repeat. He always has $1 million smile on his face. He is in his mid-70s and still built like a 20-year-old surfer with a washboard stomach. He exercises every morning and always looks to find solutions for the day's challenges. All right, Domenico. That's a good one. Now, students, here's a little trick for you. Trick to get good scores, okay? Trick for good band scores. Look to connect. Always think about connecting information among your answers. Aha! Okay. So notice how before the examiner asks us about our hobbies, right? Like said, let's talk about hobbies. And Kaurpreet says gardening and reading are the main activities that I enjoy. You see that there? Okay. So what do you like to do in your free time? Kaurpreet says gardening and reading are the main activities that I enjoy. Now, maybe what Kaur could do is when the examiner continues and says, can you describe one of your family members? Kaur could say, sure, I would love to tell you a bit about my sister, Preeti. She is 2 years younger, has long black hair and dark eyes, and enjoys many of the same activities that I do. She also loves to garden. In fact, we planted a couple of rose bushes together on Saturday after we read the book I had mentioned. Okay, so notice this clever connection, right? So when you're talking about a family member, you could potentially connect that to hobbies that you do, because family members often share hobbies, right? So when one family member likes to cook, another one likes to cook, or when one likes to read, another one likes to read. So after I read a book, I pass it on to my brother. He also enjoys reading similar books. Yeah, Alexi's like, mind is blown, right? That kind of quick, clever thinking, students, brings out really good language, really good connective words, and for sure, the examiner will be impressed. They'll be like, oh, okay, wow, here's a person who really knows how to make a conversation interesting and connect ideas, make them relevant, okay? All right, so make those connections. Everybody good? Thumbs up, everyone? With me on that? Connect. Make the connection. Okay? Connect. All right? That's what you want to do. Fuang says, yeah, I got that. All right, so let's practice that, because remember what I said. You have IELTS exams where part 1 is easily connected because all the questions are relating with the same subject. Like, let's talk about math. When did you learn math? Who was your math teacher? Or do you like math? So it's easier to connect. But then sometimes you have these kinds of part 1s where they're a little bit more separated, the questions, or they seem more separated. Okay, and then you have to think a little bit faster to make those connections, right? Okay, let's jump here to the next question. Okay. Let's discuss the environment. What steps do you take to protect the environment? Okay, lots of thumbs up. That's awesome, everybody. Usha, Snehal, Palomi, Elizabeth. You're all like, yeah, I got this. I get what you're saying. Okay. Okay, let's discuss the environment, students. Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Hint, hint, think about the tip that I just gave you. What steps do you take to protect the environment? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. Jeannie. Nat Nguyen. Jeannie's the nickname. Jeannie says, as an individual, one thing I can do to protect the environment is to reduce my carbon footprint through green habits like using reusable utensils, reducing the amount of energy used, and shopping locally. Okay. Jeannie, not bad. Let's improve it. As an individual, steps. Don't use the word things, students, okay? So Jeannie, no things, okay? Many of you know this. I don't like the word things. It has no meaning. Do not use the word things in your speech or your writing, okay? It has no meaning. Okay. So, as an individual, steps I can take to protect the environment are to reduce my carbon footprint through green habits. I can understand that collocation, Jeannie, but it doesn't sound overly natural to me. Now, maybe I just haven't heard it before, so I won't judge you on it. But are environmentally friendly. Habits like using reusable utensils, reducing the amount of energy by turning off lights, and shopping locally. I pay attention to this throughout each day. Okay. It's an all right answer. Jeannie, it's a good start. Think about connection here. Okay. Good. All right. Let's take a look at Fuang's answer here again, because Fuang is absolutely on the right track and she is following my advice. Also a bronze member now, Fuang. That's great. It means you've been a member for 3 months or more. That's fantastic. Okay. Fuang says, well, in order to protect the environment, I take some steps through education and planting some trees. As I've just mentioned, my younger sister and me will plant some roses in our garden, and we love nature, so we take part in the plant a tree program every year, where we go to local forests to plant some of the where we go to local forests to remove garbage and restore nature. Sure. Okay. So Fuang, very good. Just a little bit more fluency. Now I know, students, that you have limits in your chat, so you can't get this much information in all of the time, but you're on the right track, okay? So, well, in order to protect the environment, I take some steps through education and planting some trees. As I've just mentioned, my younger sister and me will plant some rose bushes in our garden, and we love nature. So we take part in the Plant a Tree program every year, where we go to a local forest to remove garbage and restore nature. Okay, good. All right. Let's see. Anybody else? I'm looking for answers where you are able to make that connection. Okay. Yeah, so Natty, here we go. Natty has this answer. To protect the environment, I always use my bicycle instead of the bus or the car. As I had mentioned, biking is one of my pastime activities. As well as I try to buy secondhand most of the time, and of course I use a bar of soap and shampoo to avoid plastic. Very good, Natty. Okay. All right, so make those connections, students. Make those connections. We're going to practice that. So we're going to practice all of these tips and tricks and strategies that I've been teaching you so far. And we're going to do that by getting people to volunteer for speaking. So this is what you do. Now you can practice actually. So you're going to hear the voices of your peers, and they will hear your voice when you volunteer. Okay, you can do this for free. It doesn't have to cost you money. All you need to do is go to aehelp.com and make sure you have a student account. You can have a free version of the student account as well. You log into your My Student account. Okay, you go to Student Partner Speaking. You turn on your microphone in your browser and make sure that it works. Try it with another student. Both Alexi and Chen have helpfully put the instructions into the chat for you with the links. So go ahead and do that, students. You can click on those links that they've put in there. I'll even put it in there once to make it real simple. That's the website, and we'll jump to the website now. This is aehelp.com. And again, you can join the premium version of our course by clicking that big red button that's just right above my head there. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, okay? And then once you log in, then you have your computer-based IELTS practice exams, your interactive course, your downloadable PDFs, printable exams, lesson videos, more than 100 of those lesson videos with HD recordings, audio CDs, and you have this student partner speaking right there. Okay, so click on that. Accept the terms. It means you're responsible. Don't give out personal information. And then send me a message. You're going to see me in here. You're going to see me in here as master. Okay, so you will see that handle, and then you can click on the blue envelope that is right there. Premium students, you will also see yourselves in there as premium students. Send me a message and we will meet up. Okay. Chayani, one of our regular students in here quite often, which is good. Let's also a premium student. Let's give Chayani a chance here. Are you ready, Chayani, to start us off today? Okay. I'm going to put on my headset and we'll get going with Chayani. As long as Chayani's there. Chayani says yes.
Hello, Sir Adrian.
Hi, Chayani. How are you today?
I'm doing awesome today. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How's the weather in your part of Indonesia?
Right now it's very hot, so I usually drink lots of the water.
Lots
nowadays.
of water. Yeah, stay hydrated. How hot is it? What's the temperature?
I think it's around 32 degrees Celsius.
Oh, that's not too bad. 32 feels nice and comfy. It's beach weather. You got to go to the beach. Right? Who needs to work anyway? Just kidding. I know we all do. All right, Chayani, let's do this. So here we go. Are you ready to practice a bit of part one?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well, welcome to the IELTS speaking exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner. Can you tell me your full name, please?
My first name is Chayani Karunia and my last name is Putri. Please just call me Yani as my nickname.
Okay, Yani. For part one, I will ask you a couple of questions to get to know you better and some questions on a general topic. Where do you live?
Currently, I live in a housing complex with my family in the capital city of Indonesia, Jakarta.
Let's talk about hobbies. What do you like to do in your free time?
In my leisure time, I usually hang out with my friends that are strolling around the city of Jakarta. Aside from that, I usually improving my talent, that is dancing. So just like yesterday, I have improving my talent dancing with a certain type of the choreography for 2 hours.
Do you think hobbies are important? Why or why not?
Yes, hobbies is very crucial for myself because it can improve my health, either it is mental or physical health. So as I said mentioned earlier, I always improving my dancing talents and also one of my hobbies for around 2 hours that it can maintain my physical health. So there is no S during that practice.
Okay, I'm going to stop there for a second. Good. Yani, that was good. Okay, very nice, strong start. You're paying attention to a lot of good information, good detail, great fluency. Again, I still recommend a little bit slower, a little bit more attention to accuracy. So the only place where you're losing some band scores here is grammatical accuracy. Like when I asked you, where is it? There was an R here, or an is here, where you should have had an R. You used the singular instead of a plural. I'm going to find it. Yeah, so it was the last one. Do you think hobbies are important? And you said, yes, hobbies is very crucial. Hobbies are very crucial, right? Because it's hobbies, plural, hobbies are. And very crucial is a bit awkward because crucial includes very. So it's just are crucial, not very crucial. So a little bit slower to fix those tiny mistakes and then you'll be great. But that so far would be easily a band 7.5 to 8, no problem. I think maybe more of an 8. I loved your use of the correlative conjunction, whether it is mental or physical. That was really good. Okay.
Okay.
When you say that, connect it with the dancing, because dancing helps to improve both body and mind. Okay, so I'm going to say the sentence here and then just repeat after me. So yes, pastime activities are crucial for me because they help to improve my health, whether it is mental or physical. As I said before, I love dancing because it heals my body and soul. Try that. Do you think hobbies are important?
Yes, hobbies are crucial for myself because it can improve either my health, physical or mental health. As I said before, I always improving my dancing to maintain my physical health.
So reflect what you said before. As I said before, I love dancing to improve both my body and mind.
As I said before, I love to improve my dancing. It can improve my body and mind.
Yeah, or heal, so that you're not repeating improve, right? Heal. Okay.
Okay.
So always work on that paraphrasing. So a little bit slower, especially when you're practicing at home, because Yanni, and this is for a lot of the other students who are at this band 6, 7, 8 level, what you want to do at home is slow down a bit, practice your accuracy, practice using a greater variety of words, so more word choice, more paraphrasing. And then once you have the accuracy, once you have the lexical resource, then you can speed up again, right? So slow down, accuracy, speed up again. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
Yanni, have an awesome rest of your day. Thank you for
Yeah,
volunteering.
sir, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
I saw there is like some videos that talk about the prediction IELTS in the YouTube. Isn't accurate.
No, it's not. And if it's predicted, if somebody so never go on predictions. It's like gambling. You should not gamble with education. That's silly. So predictions are not accurate. And if by some chance one of those videos gets lucky and somebody predicts the exam, then and the examiners feel that a lot of students prepared their answers because the questions are leaked somewhere, then they will hold the results and most likely everybody will have to retake the exam. So it's really unfortunate that people try to get viewership and get subscriptions from those kinds of videos, because they actually create problems for the IELTS and for IELTS students. It's happened several times before where questions got leaked, and then we got emails from some students saying like, hi teacher, why did I not get my result? They sent me a letter saying that the IELTS is under investigation. And unfortunately, sometimes what happens is that's because somebody leaked the answers and they have to redo the whole test. So it's not a good idea, and you should not watch videos like that because you're damaging the process, okay?
Okay, got it, sir.
All right. It's a good question, Yanni. Thank you for asking that. Have an awesome rest of your day.
Okay. Okay. See you next time, sir.
Okay.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Yanni. Bye. All right. So careful with that, students. Careful with that. Okay. So if you see that letter that says we have to investigate the IELTS exam, and you have to wait sometimes for 3-4 weeks before they make a decision. So it really delays the process. So watching those videos, it's actually a problem. That's why we've never thought about doing that. It's silly. Okay. All right. Let's take Mira here. Mira, maybe somebody new. We might not have ever spoken to Mira. Mira, are you ready? If Mira's there, hopefully Mira is still with us, and then we'll reach out to Mira. Hang in there, students. We've got time for a few volunteers for sure. Mira, we've got about a 6-second delay in real time here, students, so you always have to be a little bit patient for the student to respond.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Mira. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Mira, is this the first time that we're speaking to each other?
Yeah, it's my first time.
Awesome. Good for you. It's great. It's great to build confidence to participate like this. Mira, where are you from?
Oh, actually, I'm from Russia, but now I'm living in Vietnam.
Wow, from Russia to Vietnam. Okay. And why are you taking the IELTS exam?
So basically, I need to provide the results of my current level test of fluency for my future job.
For your job. Okay. All right. That was the answer there. Mira, when you're giving answers in the IELTS, try to always answer the question directly and then explain, because some examiners are really impatient. So if they feel like you're talking generally or going off topic, then they just jump to the next question. So like in this case, you want to be like, I'm taking the IELTS for my job. I'm planning to work as an engineer. Therefore, I need to get at least a band 7. So you want to answer directly for the question. Okay. It's just quick tip. All right. Okay, Mira, let's jump in. Here we go. So are you ready?
Sure.
All right, let's talk about your family. How many people are there in your family?
So basically, my nuclear family is quite small. It consists of me, my father, and my mother. I've got no siblings. As for my extended family, it's rather extended. And it consists of my aunts, my grannies, and my grandfathers as well. So
Can you
we build
describe
up.
one of your family members?
Sure, I would love to describe my father, as he is quite an exemplary image for me. He possesses such great qualities as kindness, productivity, hardworking ability, and respect.
All right. I'm going to stop with just those two because I want to give you some useful tips, especially because I think you have good English. So I think you would get at least a band 7.5, maybe even an 8. But I feel that with your English, you should be aiming for at least an 8.5, which is awesome because the better score you can get, the better it will serve you, not just for potentially your current job, but also for future jobs as well, or applications. So the higher your band score, the better. For instance, if you ever decide to move to Canada, the higher score that you get on your IELTS, the more points you get for your express entry visa. So if you can get really high IELTS scores, you can get a lot of points for your visa, which can really help the immigration process. So you always want to aim high. And I'm going to help you, okay, Mira, to aim high. So how many people are there in your family? You said, so basically, my nuclear family is quite small. You said it's me and my parents. Okay, good. And then you started talking about your extended family, and then you started talking a bit much about your extended family. So I had to interrupt you because I was asking you more about just your family, and you started going a little bit into too much details. I felt like I need to just stop you there before this turns into a presentation. So you have to have like an answer, explanation, example, and then kind of a finish. Also here, what you want to focus on, Mira, is nice use of natural English. And that takes a bit of practice, and I'm sure you have the vocabulary, you just need to use it. If you have no siblings, what's the collocation or the expression that's commonly used in English? So basically, my nuclear family is quite small. It's me and my parents. I have no siblings. I am... what? There's a very common collocation for this. Maybe somebody, yes, Romelia in the chat is giving you the collocation. I am, yeah, an only child. Yeah, it's commonly used. I'm an only child, and my parents do spoil me. Maybe they don't, but I'm just saying here. Only are you, Mira? May I ask? May I be candid here with you? Do you get spoiled by your parents a bit?
I would say that they presented all the full love to me.
Right. Okay. That's a good way to put it. I'm an only child and my parents do spoil me a bit. They have always shown their love. Okay. And I did like how you said my extended family is quite large. There I would keep it a little bit simpler. I would say my extended family is quite large. I have my grandparents, lots of cousins, uncles, and aunts. Okay. So I'm going to say this answer one more time, just kind of making it even better, even more natural, closer to that band 9. Just repeat after me, okay? So basically, my nuclear family is quite small. It's me and my parents. I have no siblings. I'm an only child. My parents do spoil me quite a bit with their love, but my extended family is big. I have lots of cousins, aunts, and uncles. Try
So
that.
basically,
Mhm.
my nuclear family is quite small. It's me and my parents, and I've got no siblings. I'm an only child, and my parents spoiled me a bit with their full love. But as for my extended family, I've got lots of cousins and aunts, right?
And uncles. Let's not forget about the uncles. Okay, so aunts and uncles. It just comes naturally. I've got lots of cousins, aunts, and uncles. Yes.
So,
Okay, so that's good. And then when you talk about your dad, okay, so you said, okay, I'd like to talk about my father as he is an exemplary image for me. It's interesting English because it's good vocabulary, but even though it's good vocabulary and I can understand it, it's still a band 8 because I would consider it good to very good and not expert. Expert also means natural. So instead of exemplary image for me, you can say this with one word. Do you know what that word is? It's just a 4-letter word that you should use instead of the exemplary image for me. Or there's a collocation that you could use. There's 2 words. There's 2 better ways to say this. Does anybody know? In the chat, you can help Mira. Yes, Chetan has the right word for you. Dylan just put the right word in there for you as well. And Alexi also. And Chayani put the collocation in there for you. So it's an idol, right? So he is my idol, okay? Or if you don't want to use idol, role model. Okay, would be the better words. So the examiner picks that out when they're listening. They go, oh, okay, that's some interesting English, but an expert would use the word idol or role model in this case. So Mira, let's try this one. I would love to talk about my father. He is my idol. I have seen him as my role model since a young age. He is extremely hardworking, wakes up at 6 a.m., finishes work at 6 p.m., and still smiles in the evening. Try that.
sure. I'd love to talk about my father as he is a role model for me. He wakes up at 7 o'clock and he finishes his work at 7 p.m. He still possesses energy and presents smile at the end of the day.
Good. Okay. So you forgot to say he is hardworking. So the way when we talk about a person effectively, what we always want to do is personality plus action. So my mother is kind. She bakes cookies, not only for my family, but all the neighbors as well. You see, so personality, action, personality, action. That's how we create clarity. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mira, good work. May I ask, where are you in Vietnam? Just out of curiosity, what part of Vietnam?
Yeah, now I'm in the north of Vietnam. It's Vinh City.
Vinh City. Okay. Beautiful pronunciation. Nice fluency, Mira. Definitely solid English. Focus on that content. Focus on that natural English, okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your help.
You're very welcome and great confidence. Keep coming back, Mira. Keep practicing, okay?
Sure, I will.
Okay. Bye, Mira.
Bye to you.
All right. Thumbs up for Mira. First time. Always support each other, students. Sometimes I forget to say, give each other props, give each other thumbs up. It's important. It's a great confidence booster, right? Josie, and I promise you I won't just be going in order here, everybody, but let's give Josie a chance. She is a premium student and also works very hard. So Josie, are you ready? Hopefully, yes. Josie, if you're there, let me know. We'll practice a few questions. And again, all of the tips that I'm giving students, it's for everybody. Of course, we all tend to make similar types of mistakes in our communication. Josie.
Hello.
Hi, Josie. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I become a premium student right now, and you gave I feel I improve a lot because you gave some feedback last time.
That is fantastic. I'm happy to hear that, Josie. It's great. It's great that you're getting all the content and you're learning. And thank you for volunteering. Let's get into it. Josie, are you in Vietnam also?
No, I'm from China.
Oh, China.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
yeah,
Yes, I
and I
remember
live
clearly now.
in Shanghai right now.
Yes, and I remember you're doing your MBA, right? Master's in Business.
Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
last time, I felt so nervous, so I got a bad performance, but now I feel better than before.
Of course, we gain confidence through practice, right? So that's definitely, it's, I think a lot of people tend to forget this, that confidence is also learned. We can learn to be confident. So good for you. That's great. Okay, Josie, let's do it. Let's jump into some questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get
Okay.
started.
All right, let's do it. So let's talk about family. How many people are there in your family?
Um, there are two people in my nuclear family. My parents, my sister, who is older, who is 3 years older than me, and in our daily life, we often have fun by doing some interesting outdoor activities. Like we are so enjoying playing um, table tennis. Yeah,
Let's talk
yeah,
about the
that's all.
environment. What steps do you take to protect the environment?
For my perspective, I often uh, arrive my destination by bike because I think it's a good way to reduce the emission of carbon dioxide. So I choose to take public transportation at every single day.
How can people be encouraged to protect the environment?
There are lots of ways that people have taken to protect environment, such as choose to take public transportation and
How can people
um,
be encouraged to protect the environment?
for me, I usually um, get some positive feedback after I did some interesting thing for the protection of environment.
Okay, good, Josie. That was good. I was making it a bit trickier for you, so I will explain why in a second, and then I will give you some guidance on what you can do in this situation. So I was purposefully doing something tricky here that you will see in a moment. I was doing a bit of tricky teaching here. I'm going to jump back to your previous question to explain this, and pay attention, everybody. There are a couple of interesting twists and turns in this exercise that we're doing here with Josie. So I asked you about how many people are there in your family. You said there are two people in my nuclear family. I think you meant to say four, because if it's you,
Yeah.
your sister, and your parents, there are four, right? I thought you were going to say me and my
Yeah.
husband. I was like, okay, but no, your parents and your sister, it's two. Okay, I'm like, counting, English is good. Counting, you failed math. It's not good. No, Josie. So that's fine. That's okay. You can correct yourself. So if you realize that you made a mistake, you can say, "Sorry, I'm really nervous. I meant to say four people." Can you just repeat after me? "Sorry, I'm really nervous. I meant to say four people in my nuclear family."
Oh, sorry, I'm a bit nervous. I just mentioned I have 4 people in our family members.
I meant to say I have four people in my nuclear family.
I meant to say I have 4 people in my nuclear family.
Okay, good. Now, then you said my sister, who is 3 years older than me. I really liked that. Okay, I really liked how you put in the number and you used an adjective clause, who is 3 years older. That's good English. That kind of English boosts your scores, okay? Then you said we do outdoor activities. And you said we play table tennis, right? Are you good at it?
Yeah.
All right, good. I'd be scared to play you. All right, so you do outdoor activities. Now, as soon as you say we do outdoor activities, it means you're outside, you're in nature, you're breathing fresh air, right?
Yeah. In my hometown, there are lots of table tennis equipment located in outdoor.
Absolutely. Now, let's jump a little bit to the later question here that I asked you. I said, let's discuss the environment. And then I asked you this final question. I said, how can people be encouraged to protect the environment? At first, I don't think you understood the question clearly because of the word encouraged. But then I asked you again, and this is what the examiner will do. So if the examiner feels that the student doesn't understand the question clearly, but the examiner feels that the student has pretty good English, and I feel, Josie, that your English is pretty good, okay, it's at least at a band 6 to 7, then often the examiner will repeat the question because they'll give you a second chance to understand it. So how can people be encouraged to protect the environment? And you realize, something's strange here, I have to think a bit more. And then you said, oh, for me, I usually get some positive feedback, right? Now here, Josie, and I bet some of our viewers are already thinking about what I'm going to say. They're going, Adrian wants to show how you can connect your previous answer to this answer. So you could say something like, well, people can be motivated to spend time outdoors enjoying nature and fresh air, like my family and me when we go out to the park to play ping pong. Let's paraphrase. Table tennis, ping pong, right? It's another way to say it.
Yeah.
Tennis, and I admire the beautiful trees in the park. I am motivated, I am encouraged to safeguard nature. Okay, so connecting to that concept of you spend time with your family outside. You told me that you like to go out to the park, you like to play table tennis, you have some fresh air, and that makes you want to protect the environment, right? You want to save it because you want that for your future, you want that for your children, you want that for your friends, right? So you can connect the answer. So here you could say, well, people can be motivated to spend time outdoors, enjoy nature, fresh air, like when my family and I go to the park to play ping pong and I look at the beautiful trees and I want to save them and save nature. You see how I connect the ideas, Josie?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's try it. Let's try this question and answer one more time. You don't have to say the exact same words, just the idea.
Okay.
Okay, so how can people be encouraged to protect the environment?
Oh, I think wait a minute. The best way is to give positive feedback, like something I did in recent days. Last week I went to a botanic garden with my parents, and as I just mentioned before, we played table tennis, and after that we found I found the beautiful landscape there, so I decided to join the planting tree plan. Yes, me and my parents planted 3 trees, so we got a golden medal for this reaction.
Okay, good, Josie, excellent. It can be improved. We can choose some better words, improve on the grammar, more fluency, but the concept is good. And you're using a combination of thinking, communication with English. And this is excellent. The English will improve as long as you keep trying these kinds of answers and ideas. That's when you will master English and master communication. So Josie, that's the right track. You challenged yourself, and I could hear that you challenged yourself with this answer. Really good, okay? So that's what you want to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got it. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
You're welcome. Josie, keep it up and keep coming back, okay?
Okay.
All right, have a lovely day. Bye, Josie.
Have a good rest of your day. Good night.
Good night. Bye, Josie. Thanks. Yes, it's very late in China. Absolutely. All right. Hopefully everybody understood the important tip there, right? Make those connections. That will get you good scores. Okay. All right. Let's take one more person. Let's take Natty. Let's see if Natty's here. She's been very active in today's chat. Natty, are you there? All right. If Natty, you are there, let me know, and then I will ask you a couple of questions. Hopefully you're still with us. Natty, if you're there, give me a sign. Again, students, be patient. If you don't get a chance right now, you can do mock IELTS speaking practice on the website. By the way, you can join a speaking interview practice with me by clicking on the yellow button that's just above here. I'm not sure if you can see that. Oh yeah, there you go. You can see that. So you can book a full 30-minute interview session with me. I'm not seeing a response from Natty here, so I'm not sure if Natty's still with us or not, but we'll give somebody else a chance here. Shruti, one of our other premium members. Shruti, even with a little wave emoji, are you ready? I don't know, maybe my WebSocket's closed. Let's see if Shruti is with us. Shruti, if you're there, let me know, and then I can try to connect with you. So just say hi, students. I always check with a message because I don't know if you left for a sandwich or a afternoon snack or a tea. So Shruti, if you're there, give me a sign. Let me know. I'm still hearing pings, so I think I'm still connected. All right. Shruti, no sign of presence. All right. Juan Pablo, let's see if Juan is there. Are you there? Are you ready, Juan? Okay. A little bit lower down on the list. Juan, also regular student here, and has been studying with us for a number of months, if not years. All right, Juan.
Hello.
Hi, Juan. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. What about you?
I am doing great, Juan. All right, Juan. How is Argentina today?
Today is pretty cold since winter is starting. Well, actually autumn. And also it's pretty rainy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the weather is not very very good right now, but still it's pretty cool.
You can say the weather is not very friendly these days.
Yeah, the weather is not very friendly.
All right. Yeah, and you're in the Patagonia region, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, it's very green, so to have so much greenery, you need a lot of rain. The green doesn't happen without the water. People forget that, right? When I'm teaching students from the Middle East, like Saudi Arabia, they always say, "Oh, you know, when people complain about the rain in places like where I live, British Columbia, or Patagonia, where you live, then they say you can just send the rain towards us. We've got a lot of desert. We like the rain." So to each their own, right? It's humans. We always want what we can't have.
Still, the desertic region in that part, I heard that it's very important for the ecosystem in general.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely. All right. Let's do this. Are you ready for a few questions, Juan?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. What do you like to do in your free time?
In my free time, I like to write since I'm learning English, I got to a point I have to start writing. So I got the hobby of writing nothing serious, just essays, letters, and also some short stories. Last week, I did an exchange with a partner from the United States. She wrote in Spanish, and I wrote in English, and we exchanged each other's essays.
Can you describe one of your family members?
Sure, I could talk about my little niece. She is 2 years and a half. She's about 90 centimeters tall. Her hair is long and dark, and she has a pretty and round face. Also, she's very playful since she's just a baby still. She's very creative. She likes to paint and play with Legos, but overall, she's very well behaved.
Let's talk a bit more about nature. Do you do anything to protect the environment?
Well, right now, since I'm just one person, but I still can do some things. I use my electronics as much as possible, especially my computer, my phone. They still work, and I have them for several years. And also, I'm starting to recycle in my house. It could be pretty challenging since I'm not the only one living here, and I need more space and all, and sometimes I just forget. But in the long run, I think it's worth it.
All right, Juan, not bad, not bad. Definitely a band 7 to 7.5. It's clear English. I understand it. Therefore, 7. It's good English. Some of your phrases are a little bit awkwardly put together. You could smooth them out, and we'll talk about that maybe another time. I'm going to actually take the information that you gave me and turn it into a very interconnected piece of conversation. Are you ready? I want you to repeat me on this, okay? So Here we go. And I'm going to take what you said. So what do you like to do in your free time? Once I give the answer, just repeat after me. This exercise is for everybody. It's our last exercise, so follow with me, okay? In my spare time, I like to write a lot since I'm learning English. I acquired this hobby recently, and I write poems, essays, and short articles. Last week, I wrote an article about the environment. What do you do in your free time?
In my spare time, I like to write. Since I'm learning English, I acquired this hobby when I started writing in English. And for example, last week I wrote a poem about the environment.
Can you describe one of your family members? Sure. I will talk a bit about my little niece, Andrea. She is 2.5 years old, just under a meter tall, has long dark hair, a round face. She's very playful, and she is also starting to learn the Spanish alphabet and writing simple words. Can you tell me about one of your family members?
Sure, I will talk about my little niece, Andrea. She's just under 1 meter tall. She started to learn the Spanish alphabet, and she's very playful.
She is also starting to write, just like my hobby. She's learning the Spanish alphabet.
She also has started to write, just like my hobby, the Spanish alphabet.
Okay, do you do anything to protect the environment? Yes, I do. Besides recycling, some of my writing is about the beautiful nature that surrounds me here in Patagonia and encouraging people about protecting that nature by informing them about trails and various places that they can explore. What steps do you take to protect the environment?
Sure. Aside from recycling, I use my writing to talk about the greenery and the natural places here in Patagonia. I just wrote an article about some very important reserves here in my area, and I think they're very important to let people know about the importance of nature.
Very
and they
nice.
matter.
Beautiful. That will get you a band 9. Okay. Did you follow me on that? Yes, you did, because you sure did a great job, Juan. So do you see how we can make those connections in our mind, in our speech, and it starts to create this beautiful kind of flow, this story? Are you with me?
Yeah, because the sorry, the questions seem like they have nothing to do with them, with each other. But for example, hobbies and then the environment. But we need to make that connection, right?
Absolutely. You don't have to, but when you do, you're going to do much better, right? So it sounds cliche, but we are all connected and all information is connected, right? So if you can find those connections, that will always impress your audience, especially when you use good language to express those connections, right? So that's what you want to do. And Juan, thank you for helping me show that example. Keep up the good studies. And at your level of English, you need to push yourself for that kind of content, okay?
Okay.
All right,
Thanks,
Juan,
Etienne.
keep it up. Enjoy the rain, okay?
Yeah.
All
try
right.
to.
Bye, Juan.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, that was Juan. Let's give him a thumbs up. That was very good. Okay, everybody. As I said, we're using our website, aehelp.com. It's brilliant. It works. It's cheap. It's here for you. Sign up for the premium IELTS package by clicking on that big red button that's just right above my head there. It's a one-time payment. Do yourself a favor. Get going, get studying. For general IELTS students, gieltshelp.com, green background. All of my volunteers today, thank you so much. You're beautiful people, wherever you are, whether it's in China, Argentina, from Russia and Vietnam. Keep up the great work. Thank you to our moderators who helped to keep the class on track, gave information for everybody, answered a lot of questions. I saw that. Alexi, Chen, thank you. Thank you, members, Chayani, Amra, Domenico, Bogdan. We are so happy to have you support us, and thank you to all of our viewers. Students, I will be back tomorrow with task 1. That's a requested task 1. It will be a table as well as listening parts 1 and 2. Until tomorrow, check out the websites, aehelp.com, gieltshelp.com. Lots of study materials there for you to improve your band scores. Lots of good strategies there for you to improve your band scores and improve your communication. Speaking English and communicating well is key to success and happiness. So I'm here to help you with that, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria, Canada. Much love to all of you, wherever you are. Bye for now.